And welcome back to Sumner County Spotlight. This is Jeff Shannon, and it's so nice to have you here every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock for Sumner County Spotlight. And we have all kind of great guests. We have another one coming in right now. Just actually got a chance to meet John earlier this week, and he was on the Hendersonville Chamber's Coffee and Conversation. And John, you really impressed a lot of people. So I guess we should start out and just tell us about yourself.
Well, thanks for having me, Jeff. It's a pleasure to be up here and a pleasure to be back in Hendersonville.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, we had a great event with the Hendersonville Area Chamber of Commerce a few days ago. Man, it was just, it's so exciting to be part of these, events. And I love the chambers. I just got to start out saying that. They do so much for small businesses in the area and local business and bringing everyone together. It was just it was an honor to finally be, I'm just a longtime member of different chambers over the years, and it's a pleasure to be on that side of the table finally, speaking at one of their events. So
give us a background. I mean, your history, what you're all about, what brought you here.
Yeah, well, I was there talking about my new book, Marketing Ain't Easy. It's available on Amazon and my website, AmericanPhotoVideo.com. Let's get that out of the way.
Yeah.
A little plug. So I've been in the marketing business for 12 or 15 years almost now. And I started out in video production, and I worked my way into a marketing director position here in Nashville over the years. I sold my original video production company to an ad agency and then ran their video department for a long time. I just love the business, and I love getting involved in all these events and talking about, teaching people the best practices, I suppose, of marketing.
Sure.
And so the other day we talked about holiday marketing, and
which is important.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some companies do retail business, for example. They do 40% of their business this time of year. So in these 3 months, you're talking about almost half your business. Crazy.
Well, even at these times when businesses are limited hours and the curbside and things have changed a lot marketing-wise, but the concepts are still there.
That's
you have
right.
to follow.
Yeah, and it's obviously always changing. A few months ago, people are trying to pivot to deal with the whole pandemic situation, and it really hit local businesses pretty hard. And they had to figure out how to manage an e-commerce site. A lot of people, how to deal with curbside pickup and contactless payments and pickups. Sure. And all this. But now, I think I'm optimistic. So I think we're in the home stretch here, and I think people need to start thinking, how are they going to get back into gear and let people know the precautions they're taking, first of all, as they open back up, and then how they're going to provide their services again for people in the future to going forward. So this is we talked a lot about that at the Hendersonville Chamber, and it's interesting, always interesting at the chambers, because you get all different types of businesses. It's not like you're just dealing with a retail store. Mm-hmm. We had the VFW on the call. We had different healthcare companies, all different stuff. So
some guy from a radio station, I don't know.
We had the best for all.
Indeed.
It was fantastic. So, I really went through the 3 marketing mistakes that a lot of companies make this time of year that kill holiday sales. And those are, things like not using the root modes of communication that you currently have access to properly. So that means emails. So, I love email blasts, all right? I know that some people think they're a little annoying, but you know what? This time of year, people look for they're looking for gifts. They're looking for things to buy. This year, for example, they're looking to support, restaurants and small businesses. So this is the time to get into their pockets, right to their pocket, right to them in their emails. So.
One of the things that you had said was that people are advertising. A lot of times when things are slow, they cut back their advertising versus, okay, if we fade away, people just forget that we're here. So, when it's slow, that's the time to do it. Or even when it's busy, you still do it because you're losing that continuity, the message and the name recognition and all of that.
Yeah, that's a very astute point you make there. It doesn't mean throwing money at it. Also, I want to say it's you have to get engaged in the process. Mm-hmm. You have to think outside the box. You have to talk to your consumer, your customer, and really bring them on as a client. You want to make sure that relationship is strong. That just means talking to them, staying relevant. It doesn't mean you have to pay $1 million for TV commercials. Mm-hmm. It can be just reaching out. It depends on the size of your business and obviously what you do, but there are a lot of different ways that you can stay engaged and talk to your customers and make sure that they know that you're there and they're thinking about you when they're at the point in their buying cycle that they're ready to make the purchase. You just want to be there for them.
Especially a lot of small businesses really think that, well, that's just kind of expensive, for it. But you can fit things into your budget, fairly easy. Just like, radio advertising, for instance. I mean, you have different rates. You can run schedules. You can do monthly payments. So you can make it where it's affordable for a small business to run and still getting that exposure. And then using all of the social media platforms and your email, Constant Contacts, MailChimp, some of the free ones that you can use that are fairly simple and just spread your message everywhere.
That's right. And, radio is a great medium as well. There are so many things that people don't know about in terms of products that they can, that the radio station offers in terms of advertising.
Sure.
On-air promos, I think testimonials from an on-air DJ are huge. You know what I mean? Saying that you use their product, a local product, and it's an honest testimonial. It's very powerful.
It certainly is.
It's not expensive all the time either. It's not the cost prohibitive, I should say.
So all of those folks listening that want to do radio advertising, give me a call. We'll make it work.
That's right.
Plug.
Yeah.
So tell us about this great book. I know. Is this your first book? How far along are you into the book situation?
Well, so Marketing Ain't Easy is the name of the book. It's
not.
It's not. That's right. But I go through it. It's my second book. My first is a poetry book. So
wow.
Yeah. I'm an artist, I suppose, at heart. Yeah. I like to play music a lot, and I dabble in the other creative industries. So anyways, I published a poetry book, and then I actually wrote that book as I was writing this book. There were a lot of times, I wrote Marketing Ain't Easy on Post-it notes and my phone's notes app, I swear. I wrote half of it on there, and then as I was traveling or whatever I'm doing, and along the way, and when I get home, I would type it all out and really flesh it out. There are a lot of times when I'd get a little bored, right? I have a problem with procrastination, and as a lot of people do, and focus sometimes. So to get around that, I started writing down these. I'd get for some reason poetry in my head, and I'd have to write that down to get it out of my head and get it out of the way so I can get back to marketing work. But yeah, I ended up writing a whole poetry book in the meantime while I was writing this book, and so I published that one, and it turns out before this one, and then I had Marketing Ain't Easy come out. It was February 2020 was the date that I released it.
Oh, really?
I have a thing for numbers, so February 22nd I released it, and I wanted to write a comprehensive guide to creating a marketing plan. Whenever I look at marketing books out there, they're either very specific or they're on a different topic or an industry, or they're not. There was no option for a general. Just let me know how to do marketing. Give me help me make a plan. If I don't know anything about it, or even if you're an advertising industry professional, there's a lot in here. You might not be a creative type, so I have a whole section on the creative ground rules, if you will, that should make it easier to communicate with your creative team.
It's just like Kathleen said this morning, or the other morning, that just because you can doesn't mean you should. Photography, video,
that's right.
Sound. I mean, these are things that, okay, I can do them, but I really shouldn't, because, you have to have the product. I mean, that is your image that is being stated there once you put that out there. So get a creative person to do that. Everybody knows somebody. Of course, everybody in the world, you've heard this. Oh, I got a friend as a photographer.
I got a guy.
I got a guy. You got a guy who knows a guy. I got it.
I know. But the thing is, you want to be able to communicate with them effectively. And a lot of, creative people sometimes are a little different. They're temperamental. They're, they're a little delicate, I'd say. They have a tendency to be, which is, and I know you have a history in the photography business, so you can understand that. But for your average business owner who might not have a creative background, they might be a finance type person, they might be a salesperson, they might be a technician, and who grew into an ownership role in a home services company, for example. They may not know some of the key terms and how to really communicate what their vision is for a commercial or some kind of advertisement, whether it's graphic design, photography, video, even copywriting for, maybe you want to do a magazine ad or something you need to write, or a newspaper article. I wanted to let people, I think it's important to have some basis of understanding in all those fields, just so you can communicate well and and let people know what you want.
Sure.
Yeah.
So do you do like steps, like step one, or what kind of guidelines are you giving them in here?
Well, marketing ain't easy. It's 3 simple steps as the full title. So I do prescribe, I suppose, 3 steps. And the reason is everybody jumps to the second step when they don't know what they're. So the first step is research. The second step is implementation. Third step is measurement. Most people just jump right into implementation. They just want to throw money at the problem of marketing,
Then they wonder why it didn't work.
Exactly. And I have a quote in here. Probably my favorite quote is John Wanamaker from the 20s, or something. He said, "I know half my marketing is working. I just don't know which half," which is such a common problem.
You're right. Or they throw it up against the wall and hope it sticks.
That's right. Yeah.
It's like, please.
Is that working? Let me see. Are we selling stuff? Good. Okay. But it's not efficient is the problem.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important to do research. And again, I should start by saying it's the ideal customer method is what I really prescribe here. And I didn't write the ideal customer method. A lot of people, but I just revised it. A lot of people start out marketing thinking, okay, I want just general demographics. I want women from 18 to 34 to buy my products. But when you talk, another quote in here: when you try talking to everybody, you end up talking to no one.
Right? Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I say is start in your record book, start in the books, in the finances, and see who you're making the most money off of. And it sounds cold, right, or a little glib maybe, but it's not. It's really, business is about money, and the people that are paying you the most to in business, they're doing it because they love you.
Yeah.
They want to be part of the story. So you want to find the people who you make the most money off of with the least amount of complaints and work and revisions, if you will, But these people are the ones that they're telling all their friends about you. They're telling their family about you. They're telling stories about the wow experiences that they've gotten with you. So that's where you really want to start, and you want to market to them specifically. Have a picture of them in your mind when you're creating your ads, and then go work into the implementation process once you have a plan.
Yeah, and it's cheaper to market to people who are already existing customers.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, so.
That's a whole nother issue. Getting over the first purchase barrier. When you get over that hump, your customer acquisition cost goes way down. And then when you get into using things like emails that hopefully you've captured at the point of sale or before, then you're really starting to make more money. You're bringing your margins way up. Mm-hmm. And that's what you want, is bigger margins, so you can be more efficient later too, right. And bring maybe price back down for your customer.
Sure. Well, like you said, you have to have a plan of attack. You have to know where you're going, or you're not going to be able to get there. Mm-hmm. So it's getting that plan, identifying your market, what your strengths are. Start planning this thing out,
and then measure the results.
Yeah, and you have the steps right in here. So it's the book is right there. I mean, it's easy to do. It looks like a pretty easy read,
and some great pictures.
Great pictures. Ooh, I love pictures.
I hired an illustrator, and we worked together to make. I think we got 35 pictures or so in here. And that makes just to help. Not everybody's a reader, or some people are visual learners as well. Mm-hmm. So I thought that would help illustrate the concepts. Yeah. So we really, we have a couple cartoon characters who really take you through the story, and it's been fun making this book.
So are you having this on Amazon? You're going to be an Amazon bestseller.
It was someday.
Yes,
it's on Amazon. I have the ebook is up there. I made the ebook a month or so ago. It is free if you're an Amazon. I want to say, what is it? Amazon
Prime.
Maybe Prime. It's the Kindle. If you're a Kindle member or whatever it is.
Got it. Yeah,
There's something there. Yes. I just write the book. I don't do the Amazon. Yeah. I just put it up there. But if you're some kind of a Kindle Unlimited is what it's called, then it's free for you. Otherwise, it's only I think $3 or $4 for the ebook, and then obviously the print copy is I think $19.95.
Yeah.
And Marketing and Easy. It's on Amazon by Jonathan Rizzo. That's me.
So if they're looking for you, would they type in John or Jonathan?
Either one. I think hopefully if I've done my job, it should come up for you, right?
Hopefully. So in our closing minutes here, one thing people should take away from this, and it's been a real quick interview. We could talk a long time, but what's the one thing they should take away from this interview?
I'd say try to, hopefully, if you haven't already and you're listening, get some note paper out, okay? And if there's anything that came to your mind while we were talking, write it down and try and work on it today for maybe half an hour, all right? Hopefully something, if you haven't defined or written down the exact person that is your ideal customer in the real world, I like to take, get it either, if I don't have a picture of them, just make a drawing, whatever it is, put them on your wall at your desk. Sure. That's the person you're working on, talking to all the time. Yep. That's where I always start. And when I start to create a plan for a company is, so if you haven't done that yet, do that. Otherwise, if you have and you feel confident, you know who your ideal customer is, really think about how you can use your marketing, the routes that you have access to right now. How are you using them, and how can you be more effective with them or more efficient? If you're not sending out emails, but you have an email list, or if you have emails all over, but you don't use MailChimp or you don't have a good email service provider, find one and make an effort. Just put all your contacts, find all those business cards that you threw in all the drawers over the years or whatever. Take all those out. Put them, compile a list, all your customers, all the sales, if you have receipts with emails on them, you collect data. You should always be collecting emails and phone numbers. Get it all together, start sending out emails and decent emails. Really make an effort to put together good quality emails. And maybe, especially now, just before Christmas, find a way to send an email to your customer, a couple emails out. Maybe bundle a couple packages together for a gift package or something, or find a way to, if you're not offering financing, or maybe you want to offer, I ran a Shopify store for Vincent Peach Fine Jewelry for a while because I was as the marketing director. It was part of my whole process. And I would have, things like free priority shipping. So, we'd overnight ship things if you spent over, I don't know, a few $100s, you know what I mean? Depending on the margins. So I think find something interesting that you can just let people know, hey, just stay relevant this time of year, especially this year, because people are looking for a way to help out. They're looking for a way to use you and use your service and your products. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, that's great stuff, man. So in closing, tell everybody how they can reach you. Again, my name is Jonathan Rizzo, or John Rizzo if you want. You can find me at AmericanPhotoVideo.com. Book, again, is Marketing Ain't Easy. It's 3 simple steps, and that's on Amazon. And my contact information is on the website if you're interested in a consultation or just questions. You want to go for coffee. Sounds good. I'm happy to do it. I love it. Yeah, so awesome. I love this stuff. Yeah, great. Well, John, listen, it was great meeting you, and we appreciate you coming in here. So thank you, Jeff. Well, this has been Sumner County Spotlight. I'm Jeff Shannon. We appreciate you joining us each and every Sunday morning right here at 10 o'clock at WHIN. You'll hear this podcast coming up on a Monday morning at 8 o'clock. It'll drop then on WHINradio.com. And as always, we appreciate our sponsors, F&M Bank at 221 Indian Lake Boulevard and at myfnmbank.com. This is Jeff Shannon saying so long, and this is Sumner County Spotlight.